Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel, and today we are going to continue with history of class 10, the chapter 1, and the name of the chapter was the rise of nationalism in Europe. And earlier we have already done 7 videos, and this is the 8th video, and the earlier 7 videos are available in the playlist. You can go and watch them and you can refresh your memory what was the chapter about. And today we are going to continue with unit number 4, the making of Germany and Italy. So under this particular topic, we are going to understand the unification of Germany and Italy. As earlier, Germany and Italy were not as countries what we know now today, but they were divided into different kinds of areas, or you can say regions. Like this is one, the 39 states were there of Germany, and Prussia was the largest of them. And we come to know that Germany was not united. All the kings, small kings and small rulers were ruling over the different regions of Germany and Italy. So now let's find out how they became united and how they came together as a nation state. So 4.1, Germany. The question is asked that can the army be the architect of a nation? So can we really find that the army can be the main basis how they can make a nation or not? So let's read about that. How did the army help in making the nation of Germany? After 1848, nationalism in Europe moved away from its association with democracy and revolution. So after the year 1848, when we find that the conservatives, the kings had come back to power, at that time democracy and revolution was not associated with the idea of nationalism. So here nationalist sentiments were often mobilized or moved by the conservative people for promoting state power and achieving political domination over Europe. So here the people, the kings used to make the people feel that yes, if you love the king, then only you are a nationalist, and if you don't love the king at the time, you are not a nationalist. So here democracy and the idea of revolution was almost absent in the minds of the people, and these conservatives tried to make the people think that their country's main power rests on the king and the conservatives. So this can be observed in the process by which Germany and Italy came to be unified as nation states here. So we'll try to understand that how Germany and Italy came to be unified together as a nation state. As we have seen, the nationalist feelings were widespread among the middle class Germans, who in 1848 tried to unite or bring together the different regions of the German Confederation, as you know 39 states were there under Napoleon, into one nation state government by an elected parliament. So here the people were in Germany, but it was not Germany at that time. Why? Because different kinds of small rulers were there, and so many different kinds of regions were there, and it was a confederation. And all this confederation of 39 states had to be brought under one nation state, and that also to be governed by an elected parliament. So the middle class Germans were mostly aware that we must make a government where all the people will be equal. This liberal initiative to nation building was, however, repressed, or it was not supported, and it was controlled by the combined forces of the monarchy and the military. So here the kings and the military, they did not want that these middle class people of the German Confederation should come together, and that is why they were supported by the large landowners, also known as Junkers of Prussia, and this monarch and the military and the Junkers, that is the large landowners, had an alliance together, and they tried to stop the middle class people of Germany. And from then on, Prussia took on the leadership of the movement for the national unification, and at that time only the King of Prussia decided that we should go for unification, that is national unification. And the king gave the responsibility on a chief minister, that is Otto von Bismarck, and he is said to be the architect or the main designer of this process, carried out with the help of the Prussian army and bureaucracy. So as they did not want to give the power in the hands of the common public and the middle class people, that is why they tried to bring the people together. And this is how there was a war over the areas for 7 long years, and they fought a war with Austria, that is Prussia fought a war with Austria, then Denmark, and then France, and finally they became victorious. And with the help of the bureaucracy, the officials, they ended in the Prussian victory and completed the process of unification. And finally, the areas which were under Austria and Denmark and France, etc., all came under Prussia. And this Prussia, which was, you can say now at that time, the German majority area was under Prussia only. So now in 1871 January, the Prussian king William the First was proclaimed the German emperor in a ceremony held at Versailles. You can even see the picture on the right side of the screen here. So here we come to know how he was coronated. On the bitterly cold morning of 18 January 1871, an assembly comprising the princes, all the small kings of the German states, representative of the armies were there, and important Prussian ministers, including the chief minister Otto von Bismarck. He was the main designer and the architect of all this, gathered in the unheated hall. It was a cold winter, and it was called the Hall of Mirrors, and it was situated in the Palace of Versailles, and they proclaimed the new German Empire, and it was headed by Kaiser William the First of Prussia. Here all these ministers and all these Prussian people gathered. Why? Because they wanted to just unify together under one king, and the name of the king and the emperor was Kaiser William the First of Prussia. This nation building process in Germany had demonstrated the dominance of Prussia's state power. So now everybody came to know that how Prussia was stronger, and this new state placed a strong emphasis on modernizing the currency, and banking system should be improved, legal and the judicial system, the law and the courts and the judge, extremely sorry, these all things were mainly proposed that it should be improved. Prussian measures and practices were often so popular that they became a model for the rest of the Germany. And today also you can find that the Prussia is not there, but Germany is there, and these all basis comes from that old ancient, not ancient you can say, but the middle ages. That is how the people had started the nation building, and this all came from the Prussian state power. And the currency, the banking, the legal system, all these were even like practiced after long time Prussia was not in power. Here you can see in picture all these different things, and here is a map. Here you can see all the different kinds of areas. You can understand it properly. So this is what Prussia is defined here. It's a very large area here, and here we have some more states. Here you can read here all these things are given here. Austria-Prussia war happened in 1866 and joined with Prussia with to form the German Confederation in 1867. So all this information is given, all this information you can read here, and all these things you can, this is Hanover, you can see, and this is these are some of the areas of these places. You can see this is the German Empire. This is how Germany became united at that time. Okay, now let us read about how Italy was united. So, like Germany, Italy too had a long history of political fragmentation or division. And Italians were scattered over several dynastic states as well as the multinational Habsburg Empire here. So, there was a Habsburg Empire, and under this, so many different multinational people, so many people belonging to different groups, culture, language, all were staying together. And during the middle of the 19th century, Italy was mainly divided into 7 states, of which only one, Sardinia Piedmont, was ruled by an Italian princely house. So here we come to know that only one such kingdom was there, that is Sardinia Piedmont. It was only ruled by an Italian princely house or prince, and they were mainly of Italian origin, and all the other 6 states were mainly ruled by some other people who were not Italian. Like you can see, the north side was under the Austrian Habsburgs, those rulers, and the center was ruled by the Pope was the head of the Catholic Church in Rome and the Vatican City. And after that, we know the southern regions were under the domination of the Bourbon kings of Spain, and even the Italian language had not acquired one common form and still had many regional and local variations. So the local variations in the sense that the people of different areas of Italy spoke different types of different dialects of Italian language, and it was not a common language that could bind them together. So during the 1830s, Giuseppe Mazzini, as you already come to know, he was an Italian revolutionary, and he had sought to put together a coherent, a together program for a unitary Italian republic country. So he wanted that Italy should be unified and it should be a republic where there must be elections and the head must be elected by the people. He had also formed a secret society called Young Italy for the dissemination or for the spreading of his goals and how his goals would be achieved. And the Young Italy was mainly concerned for transforming the state of Italy as a united country and for unitary Italian republic. But unfortunately, the failure of revolutionary uprisings both in 1831 and 1848 meant that the mantle or the responsibility now fell on Sardinia Piedmont under its ruler King Victor Emmanuel II. And as he was the only king of the Italian origin, that is why King Victor Emmanuel II responsibility was to unify all the Italian states through war. So if they don't want to join, then you have to overcome them. You have to attack those places, remove the rulers from there and defeat the rulers from there and take those areas under Italian control. So this is what Victor Emmanuel II had intended. And in the eyes of the ruling elites also, all the people, those who were from the noble families and the rich families, they also wanted that there must be a unified Italy. Why? Because if there is a unified Italy, that would offer them the possibility of economic development and political dominance. So here we come to know about two things: economic development in the sense that if they would be able to do business, then they would be more stronger, and politically also they would have more power. So as you know, like in the last one, Otto von Bismarck was given the responsibility of chief minister. Here also in Italy, the chief minister Cavour was given the responsibility of leading the movement. So he led the movement to unify the regions of Italy, and he was actually neither a revolutionary not a democrat. He was some like in a diplomatic person, and like many other wealthy and educated members of the Italian elite of the high class society, he spoke French much better than he did Italian language. So you can understand that he always had a very diplomatic and had a good relation kind of thing with all the people of all the neighboring areas, and that is why he could speak French better than he did Italian. So you can understand that for the purpose of diplomacy, he could even go to the extent of making friendship with his enemies. So through a very tactful and a clever diplomatic alliance, a partnership with France, engineered or mainly designed by Cavour, Sardinia Piedmont, the kingdom, succeeded in defeating the Austrian forces in 1859. So what they did, Cavour took the help of the French people, and Sardinia Piedmont got the support of the French people, and they attacked Austrian forces and finally defeated in 1859. Apart from the regular troops, a large number of the armed volunteers, not only the army but so many other like people, soldiers also, or you can say like farmers, peasants, workers, all of them volunteers who came to join the war under the leadership of Giuseppe Garibaldi. He was also revolutionary. They all joined the fray, or they all joined the war. And in 1860, these people marched into South Italy, and then they went to the kingdom of the Two Sicilies. Here you can see in the map, just in the left side, you will come to know about it later on. So the kingdom of the Two Sicilies, they attacked and succeeded in winning the support of the local peasants in support to drive out the Spanish rulers from there. In 1861, King Victor Emmanuel II was proclaimed King of the United Italy. And however, much of the Italian population, among whom rates of illiteracy was very high, they had some other things in their mind. So what happened at the time, let's see. So as you know, in 1861, King Victor Emmanuel II was proclaimed King of the United Italy finally, after driving out the Spanish rulers. And this high population where the people did not have literacy, they remained blissfully unaware, like they did not know what is going on everywhere, and all the liberal nationalist ideology, what is going on, why they were attacking, what happened, nothing they knew about that. Only the peasant masses supported Garibaldi everywhere in southern Italy. Why? Because they had never heard of Italia. When they said Italia, we are all united as Italy, at the time they thought that, the peasants who were uneducated thought that La Talia was actually Victor Emmanuel's wife's name, and they were all calling out to like receive the queen. So this is what was the condition at that time. Knowingly or unknowingly, all the people of Italy came together, and although Italia was formed, and it was actually a kind of what you can say new thing for them, that is why I did not understand the term Italia, and they got confused with La Talia, which is Victor Emmanuel's wife's name also. So here you can see the kingdom of two Sicilies are mentioned here. This is the picture before the unification, and then the right side you can see the picture that is after unification, how Italy was united. Okay, so now we shall go for the next topic, and that will be the strange case of Britain. But I don't think in this video we shall be able to complete it. So that is why we shall do it in the next video. Till that time, thank you, and see you next time. Bye everyone.